Hello Eagles Nation, Vincent Foast here, and welcome to an NFC Conference Championship Eagles Chat. We're here at Eagles Chat, we get down right to the news you want to hear on your birds. But before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe to the Eagles Chat YouTube channel, as well as following us on Instagram at Chat Eagles, where you can find daily updates on your birds. You can also find our Instagram in the description of this video. But now, let's get right into it, and yes, the Eagles spanked the Commanders harder than that wrecking ball will spank that dump of a stadium the Washington Commanders call home when it's time for it to be demolished. This was a big-time victory, 55-23. It was a high-scoring game, and it kind of brings me back to the Michael Vick days, if you know what I mean. But hey, the Eagles get the victory. They are NFC champions, and they are now going to the Super Bowl. But now let's get into this Eagles Chat. Let's not just talk and talk, but we're first going to start off with the injury update. So currently on this injury update, we're monitoring two players, and that first player is right here, Landon Dickerson. So a big piece of that Eagles offensive line unfortunately got an injury, and that injury is indeed a knee injury. So we're going to continue to monitor that very, very closely. Of course, Cam Jurgens had to come in to replace him as center, as Cam Jurgens is already dealing with his fair share of injuries as well. He came in with just coming off of a back issue. So we're going to continue to monitor this injury very, very closely, especially as Landon Dickerson, a big-time important piece of that offensive line. And he had a brace on his knee, it looked like today, but they're going to continue to monitor it very, very closely to make sure that nothing else transpires out of it, especially as we have let's just say, a little bit of a break until the Eagles' next performance. But we have another big-time injury we are monitoring, and that is about Kenneth Gainwell. Now, he is said to have a concussion. He was going in for a hit, and let's just say he received the worst end of it as his head kind of shook back big time. So they did say and confirmed him for a concussion, and he was taken out of the game. So we're going to continue to monitor both of these guys as closely as possible as the rest of this week continues and the next week continues. As remember, we have a pretty good-sized break until the Eagles' next performance. So we're going to continue to monitor both of these guys, and especially, I know you have Saquon Barkley, but Kenneth Gainwell has been a big piece, a huge backup for the Birds. So hopefully he'll be able to get back to health again, a good health again. So we're going to continue to monitor these guys very, very closely. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. Again, the link in the description to keep updated with everything on your Birds, especially injuries. But now, let's move on to Jalen Hurts' play. So, not going to lie, today was a heck of a lot better than previous games. Hurts seemed to have more of a rhythm in today. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some ups and downs, but that is expected to happen, especially since you're in the NFC, let's just say, you're in your NFC Conference Championship game. There's going to be some level of pressure on you, but Jalen Hurts did not fail at all. As he, right here, 20 out of 28. Let's go over his stats for his passing. Again, 20 out of 28, 246 yards. He passed for 1 touchdown, but yeah, that's 1 touchdown. There were 8 touchdowns scored today by the Eagles offense, but let's stay on Jalen Hurts' stats. For his rushing, he had 10 carries for 16 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. So, for Jalen Hurts, yeah, a heck of a lot better than previous games. This is definitely something that a lot of people have been wanting to see out of him for a little while now. Now, there's a lot of people saying, well, when the Eagles played in that Green Bay game, it was kind of like they were coming off of a bye week because they were going up against the Giants and they played a lot of their second and third stringers. And then a lot of people said last week it was about the weather and the weather conditions. Now this week, I've been hearing it all over the place as we were coming up to this game. I think the Eagles offense, especially the pass game, will do better because they are warmed up now and the weather is supposed to not be a factor as well. So they're warmed up. And yeah, they 100% looked like they were warmed up. As an incredible game to specifically talk about Jalen Hurts. He seemed to have a rhythm again. There were some times where I wish he got rid of the ball a little bit quicker, and also as well with stepping up in the pocket. There were some times where he got caught in the backfield, and in my opinion, I just by looking over the replays, if he would have stepped up in the pocket, I think he would have been a little better off in some situations. But hey, the Eagles got the win. That's the most important thing. 20 out of 28 for your passing yards. That's not bad. 246 yards. Yeah, once again, that is not bad at all. So they were able to get the job done. I'm not going to say anything more on that subject. I'm going to stay positive. They got the job done. They got the W. That's all that matters. But now let's get into the offense. So I have a few top contributors here for the offense. Top Eagles Chat star of the games for offense. And let's first go over our #1 guy. And yes, you could have seen this a mile away. Saquon Barkley is our #1 offensive star of the game. 15 carries for 108 yards, or 18 yards, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. So yeah, Saquon Barkley on fire. Had that the one run at the beginning of the game was absolutely incredible. That 60-yard touchdown run where Barkley was spinning out of tackles like crazy. It was absolutely incredible. You could hear the announcers that were calling the game. They couldn't believe it. Tom Brady couldn't believe what he was seeing. But man, again, thank you, New York, very much. I know you love watching both of your NFC rivals, or NFC East rivals, playing in an NFC Conference Championship game. So for the people up in North Jersey and in NYC right now, I know you're feeling it, but as an Eagles fan, it's something that I enjoy very, very much so. So, great game from Saquon Barkley again. Incredible running, beautiful awareness, knowing where he is on the field at all times, knowing his surroundings at all times. Just an incredible game by Saquon Barkley. That's all I have to say on that note. But next, we have A.J. Brown, who had an incredible game. We haven't seen him for a little while, but he brought that inner excellence out of him. He read it, he went in him, and then you definitely saw it come out of him this game as A.J. Brown, 6 receptions for 96 yards, and he, of course, had that one passing touchdown from Jalen Hurts. It was an incredible game by number 11, and someone who, yeah, let's just say he needed a big game. Hadn't had a big game in a little while. Well, that little while is over as A.J. Brown showed up today in a lot of different ways. An incredible game by the double ones right here. Hopefully, we'll continue to see that out of him in the next big game. But now, to finalize this slide, we have Dallas Goedert. Cannot ignore him. He was all over the place. 7 receptions for 85 yards. And yeah, he didn't have a touchdown today, but man, was he a big contributor on why the Eagles were able to get down the field as much as they did. As Dallas Goedert using his strength once again. He was even used as a running back a couple of times today, which seemed pretty interesting as he had some rushing yards. But again, incredible game from Dallas Goedert. He was able to use his strength, and even though he didn't have any touchdowns, can't stress this enough, he was still a big piece on why the Eagles got down the field as easy as they did. So again, incredible game by all 3 of these guys up here. And someone that I cannot forget, he is not one of my top stars of the game, but still, got to give a shout out to Will Shipley as another incredible running back for the Eagles, as they already have Barkley, Gainwell. Well, yeah, can't forget about Shipley. He had that one big-time 57-yard run. And to not forget, he had his first touchdown of his career tonight, which was absolutely incredible to get your first touchdown in your career in an NFC Conference Championship playoff game. Hey, I bet that 100% is a dream come true. He deserves it. He's going to be one stud in the beginning. Watching that run where it looked like he could have took it to the house. He had the speed, but I think the nerves got to him a little bit at the end as in the back of the end zone, there are screens there, and it looked like he was seeing the guys running behind him, the Washington players running in from behind him, and he put both hands on that ball. It was hilarious, but hey, congratulations to the kid. He got his first NFL touchdown in a huge game to finish things off for the Birds, which was already an incredible game to witness. Congratulations to Will Shipley. He deserves it, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot more out of him in the seasons to come. That is something I can definitely promise you, and something I really hope. But let's now move on to the defense. And do I have a star player of the game for the defense? Well, I kind of do and I kind of don't, because is there any way that I can say the whole defense is the star player of the game? Can I do that? Is that against the rules? I don't know. But I'm going to do that for the Eagles chat, as there were so many guys, so many contributors for the defense. I mean, you had Zack Baun. He was all over the place with the 12 tackles. You had Reed Blankenship, who was all over the place. Both Zack Baun and Reed Blankenship were key on one of those 4 turnovers that the Eagles were able to get from Washington, as Zack Baun and Reed Blankenship teamed up to punch the ball out and get a fumble recovery as Blankenship recovered it. So those 2 guys were all over the place. Nolan Smith had an incredible game as well. Quinyon Mitchell, who had his 2nd interception in the playoffs. So, I mean, this defense as a whole, when the secondary would kind of start to slump off, the line and the linebackers would step up. When they would kind of not get that much pressure, the secondary would step up. It was a whole team defensive play this whole entire game. So something where I cannot pick a star player of the game. There were so many contributors, so many guys, I mean, stepping up. Oren Burks, another guy who Didn't play that well a couple weeks ago, but man, has he been stepping it up as of recent. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., I can go on and on and on. This was an absolutely incredible performance by the whole entire defense. They should be incredibly proud of themselves, and I know they're incredibly proud of themselves. Watching them dancing in the locker room in the postgame, they're happy that they're going to the big game in a couple of weeks, and hey, no other team deserves it more. Let's just hope they can get one more win. That's all we need, one more win to finalize this incredible season and this incredible comeback year from the past season being last year. So we'll see what the Birds can do. Hopefully they can continue to get the job done. And yeah, well, who will they be going up against? Well, as this Eagles chat is being recorded, we do not have a final in this game. Kansas City and Buffalo are playing as we speak, as this Eagles chat is being recorded. So we'll just have to see. But something I can confirm to you right now before I know the answer of the game is they'll be playing one of these two teams. And of course, the big game, the bowl game, as I like to call it, will be Sunday, February 9th. And that's the Eagles' next and last matchup of the season. One more. Again, one single more. And remember, rain, sleet, or snow, the Eagles train to go. That's a quote from Jalen Hurts. I know the Eagles are ready for it. And hey, we'll have to see. So for the schedule for Eagles chat, there will be a pre-big game Eagles chat coming out before. So it won't just be a post-game Eagles chat like that, what's been happening all throughout the season. We'll be making sure to give you as best coverage as possible of the big game, and I can't wait to see the green, black, and silver back in the big game once again, back on the big stage once again. It's such a great thing for the Delaware Valley. But that's all for me. The Eagles got the big win in the NFC Conference Championship round, and again, one more. That's all they need. That's it. So, hope you enjoyed it. Have a good week. Have a great Victory Monday tomorrow. And let's enjoy this all the way up to the big one when it comes. Celebrate Philadelphia. You deserve it. And I will see you again in about a week or so to go over the pre-bowl plans and to bring you constant Eagles chat and constant news on your Birds. That's all for me. And as always, go Birds! Have a good week, everybody. Enjoy it and celebrate Philadelphia. You deserve it. Have a good one.